News with Ken Bonney and Emily Burris. Watching out for you.
Welcome back at 6:41. You're looking live at Stoller Winery this morning. You can see some early morning clouds there. They're going to be moving out of the picture here later today. That sunshine going to be making a comeback. Kelly Barron will fill us in with her full forecast in just a few minutes. But another Oregon winery is out with a new Pinot that is dedicated to science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah, we know it as STEM. Fille Wines in Dundee is behind this bottle benefit, and Cor Harlan is live there this morning to tell us more about this new wine launch. Cor?
Well, this is going to be a real cool deal here. Of course, we are in the middle of a grape harvesting season out here in the Dundee Hills and just about everywhere else in Oregon, right in the middle. This is Jessica Mazeko next to me here on the right from Fille, the brand, the label that you look for is Fille Wine. Thank you for having us out here this morning, and I want to get into this launch of this wine in support of young girls getting into STEM classes. But first of all, I don't want to overlook the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about myself here, but what we're holding in our hands here. We're in front of the fermentation tanks where a lot of these grapes have just been in here for a couple of days, and they're already kind of taking on some of the qualities of the wine that'll be here, correct?
That's right. That's exactly right. So we've already brought in our whites, our rosés, our sparkling wines, and they're in the process of fermenting, meaning turning the sugar into alcohol. What you have in your glass right now is rosé, or at least it will be rosé when we release it next April.
You say this is, at this early point on here, this is sharp. This is kind of sharp. I can smell how it's going to be, kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yep, you can smell how it's going to be, you can taste where it's going, but it definitely needs a few months to sort of settle in and integrate.
Draw a little bit of that out of there, and then I want to, as you're doing that, and kind of Carl, take a look at that, I want you to just inform me a little bit, a couple things I want to talk about. First is the background of your winery, and then the STEM supported launch of this bottle of wine. Let's start with the STEM wine. The Pinot, is it Pinot Noir? What kind of wine is it?
That's right. So we have a new Pinot Noir. It's a 2020 Pinot Noir called Stem and Root. And the reason why we're launching it is that I come from a science background, so I worked in biotechnology. The reason we started our winery, Fille, which means and daughter, is because my dad, who was a software engineer, had a hobby of making wine in the garage when I was growing up.
Right.
And he did that for 20 years. Meanwhile, I went into biotechnology. And he called me one day and said, I'd like to start a winery and I'd like you to help me do it. So we co-founded the winery together in 2003. But both of us had a background in STEM. I know that STEM education for kids is critical, especially girls.
Worked for you pretty well, right? Sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you've got a 6-year-old of your own.
That's right.
And so this is kind of an ode to all the people with small girls out there. That maybe science, technology, engineering, and math may be something you want to get into. And sales of the wine kind of support some of that?
That's exactly right. So we give a portion of proceeds to the Girls Inc. of the Pacific Northwest Eureka program, which is STEM education for girls.
Well, that is really cool. And I've got about 30 seconds left, so I want people to think about the name too, Fille. It's not spelled that way, E-T-F-I-L-L-E. This is the product of you and your dad.
That's right.
You had a good job at a large biotechnology company in the Bay Area. Your dad calls you one day, hey, I want to make wine. This is how you got together. You had a relationship with your dad, both a personal one, obviously, but a professional one, too, in winemaking. He passed away a couple of years ago. So when you look on your label, and when you look to get wine here, keep a Fille in mind, because it supports this small 2,500 case a year winery, of which many there are, 2,500 case, but this is part of the story, Emily and Ken. When you're looking at wine, you're thinking, gosh, there's a million different wines I could buy here. Which one do I want to buy? And you think about the stories behind the wine. And the story behind a Fille wine is a gal who had a good biotech job. Her dad wanted to make wines. She said, I quit. Let's make wine. And that's what they've been doing for...
This is our 19th harvest.
19th harvest. I'm still coughing up the wine from last half hour here anyway. There you go. Jenny and Ken, or sorry about that. Emily and Ken from the Dundee Hills this morning. We are looking at some wine grapes and talking Fille wine. Keep that label in mind as you're making your next wine purchase decision.
Yeah, take it easy on those grapes. It's a little early this morning, Cor. But Fille, that is great. They do.
Honest to God, right.
They've done a lot of different charitable bottles and some fun give back initiatives there too. So Always nice to learn the stories behind our local winemakers.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All
Cor.
right. Thanks, Cor.
Good.
Well, let's talk weather right now. And we've got Kelly Bayern with Portland's most accurate forecast. And what do you see for today?
Well, it is a cloudy start this morning, as you can see behind me. The view from the Coin Tower cameras looking towards